Hi guys! Welcome to my review of episode 603 of Pretty Little Liars, Songs of Experience. First off, it's not Andrew. I can't explain the level of joy that I felt when I realised that it wasn't Andrew. You guys know my rage for the very idea of it possibly being Andrew. So yeah, obviously the highlight of the episode for me was finding out that Andrew was not A and that he had in fact been set up, and that was a massive relief for me. I loved this episode. I thought this episode was fantastic. I think a lot of people will have been fans of this episode because I know a lot of people didn't like 602 because they felt that it was boring and too slow and whatever. If you've watched my review, you'll know that I actually really enjoyed the last episode, but I feel that this one was really getting us back into the Pretty Little Liars that we know. It was intense, it was dramatic, there were twists and turns and information getting thrown at us, and it was all the kind of stuff that you wanted it to be. I have written down some notes on my phone for things that I wanted to address in this particular video. So the first thing that I've got written on my phone is Ari and Asia, can they just get back together at some point? I don't know how I should feel about them because I know I probably shouldn't want them to be together because after everything that has happened, after everything that he's done, I probably shouldn't really want them to be together, but honestly I kind of just do, and I feel like if they could just get back together at some point and stop this like, oh, I'm going to hang around the coffee shop and I'm going to look after you kind of stuff, but we're not really a couple, I think at some point they should just get on with it, get them back together. That's first on my list. Next question that I had was one that I hadn't really given much thought in the previous couple of episodes, and I don't know why, but I've got it noted down here. I've got Sarah, why would A want her? Now this is a question that I started asking myself last night, and thinking about it, I really don't know. What was the point in having her? Obviously Charles wants Alison, he wanted Alison to suffer and whatever, and so maybe it was just a case of taking a young girl who looked kind of like her, a young blonde girl, and trapping her in this dollhouse. I don't know, but it just seems like it's a very serious thing to do for not the actual person that you're after. I don't think she at any point has ever said so far that he like made her pretend to be Alison. Did she? I don't know, maybe I missed that. My next thing on my list is a bit that really made me laugh. It was the scene where Ezra was on the phone to the hospital. I was like, oh hi, yeah, I'm like totally just from the police department, and can you give me all this personal information about this patient? That made me laugh because it just was so unrealistic. I mean, it's Pretty Little Liars, these unrealistic things happen and you just have to accept them, but I particularly enjoyed the fact that he was told anything like that just wouldn't happen. And also they were phoning from a mobile, so like surely that number would show up on like the phone. Next thing that I have on my phone actually says no, refuse to accept Andrew as Charles, but that is because that came up with the Andrew being adopted thing. Now what a massive coincidence that is. Like, I mean, what are the chances of the suspect of the situation being adopted and having the birth record sealed and then have it not be the right person? Next thing that I have noted down is Spencer and Ali scenes. I actually really enjoyed the Spencer and Ali scenes in this episode. I feel like out of all of the girls up until this point, Spencer and Ali have always been the two that have been the least connected and have been the two that have had the most sort of issues. Spencer was always the one who kind of called Ali out on the stuff that she was doing, and Ali didn't like it, whereas the rest of them were a little bit more willing to go along with the things that Ali was doing. And then obviously there was the entire thing with, was it Spencer that killed Ali, who obviously wasn't dead, but all of that stuff became so complicated that I actually really liked that we got a few scenes between the two of them last night that were just friends having a chat scenes. So amongst all this craziness, we had them kind of talking about Lorenzo. So Ali's got a thing for Lorenzo and she's sort of testing the water with Spencer, and Spencer's encouraging her, whereas Toby's annoying me. I loved Toby in the previous seasons, but I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, I can't stand Toby, he's just so moody and negative all the time. And I never really felt like that before, but he's kind of grated on me a little bit this season. Let me know in the comments below if you find that too. I just thought that was really nice. I like that they seem to have, after everything they've been through, resolved some of that tension between them, so that was really nice. I loved the ending to this episode. I feel like the ending was so strong, partly because it was so incredibly frustrating, because you could hear Ali going what, or you know, she sort of gasped and exclaimed something, but we couldn't hear what her dad was telling them, and that was incredibly frustrating, but it really set it up well for the next episode. The one thing that concerns me is that because we did get to hear it and it was very much just the De Laurentiis family who were talking about it, so their dad was filling Jason and Alison in with whatever the Charlie situation was. I just worry ever so slightly that if there is something that would be detrimental to their family unit in terms of something that the dad's maybe done, and it's only Jason and Ali that are hearing about this, are they going to come clean, or are they going to feel compelled to hold all this information back because it affects their family and they don't want to be judged, or have their dad go to prison or whatever? I mean, he's probably not going to go to prison, and realise that that's probably an exaggeration, but I don't know. And the last thing that I have written down, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but who the hell is Charles De Laurentiis? This is the main question that this episode left me with, because although I desperately didn't want it to be Andrew, and I was really hoping that that was in there to throw us off the scent, which it was, I now have absolutely no idea who it's going to be. As I've mentioned before, a lot of the theories that seemed to be floating around before the start of season 6 were that A/Charles was going to either be Andrew or Ren. Andrew has now been eliminated as a suspect, much to my delight. However, the alternative from those two options is that it's Ren, which to me, A, does not make a great deal of sense, and B, I would be heartbroken if that was what it turned out to be. So I'm kind of disregarding that as well. So I don't know, I've been racking my brains to try to think who else it could be. I'm trying to think of people who are in the right age bracket. Obviously it's got to be someone who we've known or we've seen in Rosewood for a while, because this person apparently has appeared since the beginning. We're kind of back to square one, so I don't know. I'm very, very excited for the next episode. I haven't actually watched the trailer for it yet. Actually, why don't I watch the trailer now?
Your doll. What if it really did hurt somebody? What did you make me do? How is your father so sure? I guess Charles is dead.
Little Liars, Tuesday, 8/7 Central, ABC.
Right. Does anyone remember when, sorry, just having watched that, does anyone remember that time, oh, I'm so excited, after the season 5 finale? Oh my god, I've just got like super excited because I think I have a theory. Do you remember after the season 5 finale when I said maybe Charles is dead and Jason's been doing all this to get revenge for his brother? Has anyone just watched the 604 promo? Because I think that might be what's happening here. I have to watch this again. Oh my god, I'm genuinely so excited. Right, do you know what? That's my prediction, right? That is my prediction. Charles died as a baby. Either something Ali did, although she was just a tiny baby, but either something Ali did or something Jason did. But whatever it is, Jason blames Alison for Charles/Charlie's death, and I have no basis for this other than the fact that I just watched that promo and I came up with this randomly after the season 5 finale. That is my prediction. Okay, so I better go. I wanted this to be a short video and it's probably not a short video, but anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed that. I certainly did. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of the episode. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will speak to you again soon. Bye. Maybe it still is Jason. Maybe Charles is dead and it's Ali's fault and Jason is doing it to get revenge for his twin brother. Maybe? I don't know. And I have to admit, I actually really enjoyed the episode. I think that what people are perceiving as boring was the fact that it was at a much kind of slower